Hello and welcome to Firearm Freedom. We're going to be talking about the C39 V2. Not really a full review, but kind of just modifications that I've done to actually a second C39 that I picked up. So let's get right to it and show you guys the modified version first, and then we'll get back to the original, which is this guy here. So this is my completely modified C39 V2. And basically, guys, I actually picked this second one up and it looked exactly like the first one. I'll put up some pictures from my Instagram account, which, by the way, guys, if you're not already following my Firearm Freedom Instagram account, be sure you do. I'll post in the description box below a link to the Instagram account. You can just give it a follow, but I am definitely much more active there. I usually do like daily posts on the Instagram account. So if you guys are interested in seeing a little bit more cool gun pictures and stuff like that, that's going to be the place to go. But let's get to the actual modifications and everything that I've done to it. So the first thing is going to be this Zukov stock. I really love this stock. I think it's awesome, and I really love the way that it side folds like that. So basically, guys, it's really cool because there's no like locking piece that you have to pull up and like wrench over. It's just sits like that right on spring tension, and I can just pull and lock it into place. And it really fits well. I get a great cheek weld on it, and so I really love this stock. Next, moving on, we just have their standard AK grip there in stealth gray. Everything you guys see on here is going to be stealth gray, other than the little like grip stop here. Actually, let's just move on to that now. Threw on just the black regular grip stop package that you can get with a bunch of different little areas there, and then the just MOE AK forend. And I should note, guys, that I wanted to do a little build or put together video, and it ended up being a complete nightmare because although you'll see on reviews and forums and stuff that this MOE foregrip just fits like a drop-in fit to the milled receiver C39s, it's not the case. At least it wasn't the case with mine. I had to do quite a bit of filing away on the little block piece that goes into the receiver, and it was quite a bit of a pain. It took a while. It took probably about a half an hour to get everything just right enough for it to fit, and it's definitely not a drop-in fit, so that's something to be noted too if you're thinking about modifying your C39. And then finally, the last thing I put on was this Troy AK-47 Claymore muzzle brake, and this is basically like a concussion device. You can see the holes here, hopefully. I was so impressed with this muzzle brake. I'll put up some videos of shooting it. This was being shot before I put the Zukov stock on there because I didn't have it yet. You're not going to be able to hear it in the video, but because it directed all the noise and gas forward, it almost sounded like kind of suppressed in a way. It was a really cool sound that wasn't like ear bleeding type of loud when you put a regular just brake on there. And I really couldn't believe the performance we were getting out of this muzzle device, this concussion device. So I was really happy with that. So that's going to be all the modifications that I did to this C39. And a lot of you are probably gonna ask, well, Joe, why didn't you just buy the already modified C39 V2s? And there's a couple of reasons behind that. One, I really wanted to do a stealth gray. I have FDE, I have OD, I have magpuls black, and I really wanted just to switch it up a little bit and go with the stealth gray. I always was wondering how it would look on one of the AKs or ARs that I have, and I couldn't find an already built, already modified from Century with the stealth gray on the magpul. So that was the first reason. The second reason is that just finding the actual mag-pulled out C39 V2 was also really difficult for me. I ended up picking this up about a week before the election, more like 2 weeks. We got them in at the shop where I work at, and I knew they were going to go really fast, and it was just the standard C39 V2. This is the somewhat newer version of the C39 V2 with the side mount, which at first I was a little bit upset about. I wanted to throw a scope mount on there, and I'm just not too impressed with the Red Army standard side mount that comes from Century. I really like the idea that they had with that whole 90% contact rail versus the regular like com block rail. However, the proprietary Red Army standard one, I think is kind of like ugly looking, if that makes any sense. And also, I don't like the fact that you're basically subjected to like 10 different red dots, and that's it. So luckily, I just found out about like 3 days ago that a company called RS Regulate, I believe, just made another side mount that will work with the proprietary Century side mount rail. So that's something I'm really going to be interested in, because I do want to throw something like that on. That's the one reason why you don't see anything on there right now. So again, guys, this is going to be all of the Zukov stock MOE forend and just their standard AK grip in the stealth gray. And I really wanted to make this video also because when I was looking around, on YouTube and stuff, before I do modifications like this, especially in a certain color, I really try my hardest to scout on the internet, maybe Google pictures to just see what it's going to look like in that color, and I couldn't find anything in the stealth gray. So this will allow you guys, if any of you are interested in the stealth gray, it's a really cool color because it's not right out there in your face, and you can't really even tell that it's something different than black unless you're in person. So this will give you guys a good idea of what it looks like. I'll throw in some B-roll shots of some kind of close-up footage of that. But let's move on to my first C39 V2. It was actually my first rifle in a free state. It was my first rifle in Pennsylvania that I bought and that I added to my collection. That was, kind of that anti-New York screw you rifle, was this rifle here. So this has a lot of sentimental value to me, and I really didn't want to mess with it just because I loved the walnut furniture that comes on it so much. This is the earlier model that does not have the side mount rail system, which I'm fine with. However, my plans for this rifle is to actually turn it into somewhat of that kind of original type feel of an AK. I want to get the just regular Arsenal grip in the gloss plum color. I think that would look pretty cool with the walnut. And you can see I already added, just a Milsurp steel Polish mag to it to just give it that kind of cool factor. And then I want to get the Tapco AK-74 style brake, or even maybe an Arsenal brake. Not that this Century Chevron brake isn't good. I'll say this, it's good, it's not great. It's not the best brake in the world. And again, I kind of, for this guy, I want to give it that original feel. Just kind of wanted to give it that kind of different feel. If I am going to make any modifications to it, those are the ones that it's going to be. Now, that's about all this video is going to be about. Just wanted to show you guys somewhat of an update on modifications that I did to both my C39 V2s, well, just one of them. And basically, I didn't want to make an entire full review yet on the actual rifles themselves, because on this, the new guy, I've only had probably about 140 rounds through it, and the older one I've had probably about 500. So I haven't had enough of a round count through it to really give you guys a full and in-depth review. What I will say is that I've only had one malfunction, and it was with the new guy, and it wasn't the firearm related. It wasn't a firearm related malfunction. It was just a bad primer in some Tula ammo we were shooting that day, and that was it. So these guns have been extraordinarily reliable. So this is going to complete this video. Stay tuned. We got a couple more guns in the works here that we just added to my collection that I'll be doing some reviews on. And we'll finally, now that I have, a good enough round count behind some of my guns, we will finally be getting some in-depth reviews and some gear and gun reviews for you guys finally. So hope you guys are enjoying the content coming out of my channel. It is somewhat new, so please subscribe, like videos. It really helps me out. And also, again, follow my Instagram account. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, please like, subscribe the videos, and stay tuned for more content coming soon.